Welcome to this presentation on writing the research paper. The big assignment in English 102 is writing a research paper. Now, research is critical in any major, and so very early in your college career, we want to give you the skills that you need to be able to do research and add on to knowledge in your area. Why do we want you to write a research paper? I've given you one. But research is also another way for you to find out more about a topic. Zora Neale Hurston, who wrote Their Eyes Were Watching God, defined research as formalized curiosity. It's poking and prying with a purpose. Now, when you are writing a research paper, pretty much you have your own idea. And that is what should come first. Because there are some students who think that research means go get everything that you can from somebody else. No, it's your ideas first. But you want to support your ideas with expert opinion on your ideas. Or sometimes they may disagree with your ideas, but you use them just to bring out what you want to say. Okay? We are going to do literary research in this class. That means we are going to use our ideas on a primary source, the story, the play, the poem. These are original documents. And then we are going to find secondary sources. That is what other people have written on these primary sources to shed light on a topic in literature. The challenge is to come up with a researchable topic because you have an assignment limit about 1,000 to 1,200 words. And so you want to ask yourself some questions. What do you want to explore from whatever text that you have chosen? Do you want to find out more about a particular character in the work? Are you interested in the elements of fiction like irony or symbolism? Do you want to look at setting and how it affects character? Are you comparing and contrasting two authors and their style? Do you want to give your own critical interpretation of a particular work? These are possibilities for writing research. Now, you have to find secondary sources since we are not using casebooks. And both print and electronic sources are welcome. Before you go further with your topic, you want to do a search through the library catalog or through the library databases to find out whether there will be enough secondary sources on the topic that you have chosen. Because remember that if you don't have enough secondary sources on the topic that you've chosen, you can't really write a research paper because it is not an essay. If you give me an essay, you won't do very well. The maximum secondary sources you can use will be 4. And if you use 1 or 2 original sources, you shouldn't have more than 5 or 6 listed in your works cited. Now, all sources are not the same, and so you want to make sure that you evaluate your sources. Check when they were published, who published them, what publishing house published them, whether the information that they are saying is similar to what you are reading from other places. Now, what you will be doing is you will be synthesizing these sources, pulling information from them to create a new whole, and showing also how they agree or disagree with each other. There are different ways that you can take or extract information from your sources. Most of the time, students think only about quotations. Quotations are just one of many ways to get information from sources into your paper. You don't want to overdo quotations because if you do so, somebody thinks that you didn't have an idea at all on what you were writing about. So you had to copy what somebody else said all the time. And so you want to use other ways other than quotations, direct quotations. Sometimes you can use a summary. And what is a summary? When you summarize, you give the main points of an article briefly. That's the operating word, briefly. And you try to put it in your own words. Or you can paraphrase. A paraphrase is a restatement of another person's paragraph in your own words. Now, the operating words are those, in your own words. You don't want to plagiarize or be too close to the original, okay? And so these are different ways that you can get sources into your own words. Now, because these sources are not your sources, even when you put them in your own words, all sources in your research paper will have to be cited, otherwise you'll be guilty of plagiarism. So that's why I said take steps to avoid them by distinguishing your words from theirs and putting the parenthetical citation behind those words which are not yours. Now, once you have your ideas, you can develop a working or preliminary thesis. Put down a sentence or two about what it is that you want to explore in your paper. What will be the main idea? Once you have your thesis, you'll be ready to create an outline. Now, you can use an informal outline. You can use a list. But I want to show you how to create a formal outline. A formal outline has 3 levels. Roman numeral 1 for 1, 2, 3 for the Roman numerals for the main divisions of your essay. The alphabet, capital letters for the secondary divisions, and then the Arabic numerals for your supporting details. So take a look at what a formal outline will look like. Your thesis, and the thesis is always a sentence or maximum 2, a sentence, not the whole introduction, just your thesis. Then your first main category, your first supporting secondary point, the first supporting details, etc. And you repeat it until you have gone through your whole topic. Then you'll be ready to draft your paper. Now the draft, your introduction, will be a little longer than the ones that you'll be writing for the short papers, because we are doing a little more than just 2-3 pages, okay? And then you integrate your summaries, your paraphrases, your direct quotations with your ideas into the paper. In each paragraph, you start with your topic sentence and then bring your own ideas, and then use support from both the primary, the story, and your secondary sources to back up what you are doing. After that, you are ready to revise your paper. Revision first. Now, revision is the big picture, the global look at your paper. There are 2 words in revision. RE, to do something over, vise, vision, to see again. So you're looking again at your paper. I suggest you use Smart Thinking or TCAL to help you. But somebody to look at the big picture. Do you have a thesis? Does this thesis go with the rest of the essay? Are the supporting details strong enough? Could you shift paragraphs around? And then you edit the paper. Edit is what I like to call cosmetic surgery, as opposed to revision, which is major surgery. Here you want to make sure that your grammar is correct, your mechanics correct, your paper format correct. And we're going to format this paper very much like how you format the other papers in class, because MLA has done away with title pages, so no title page. You want to make sure that the sources that you have in your text are all cited and that they correspond with your list of works cited, because for every source you must have a list of works cited. Once you type the final manuscript, read again to make sure that everything is correct, and then you are ready to submit your final paper. I hope this helps you to know what you're supposed to do, and I wish you all the best as you write this big paper.